know? Because I didn't know if I was at homecoming or prom when I walked in tonight, you know? Everybody had their hair blown out. There was a few French twist updos. It was like 1992, you know? Holy shit, we don't get out enough. Right? Goodness gracious, I've never seen everybody so done up, you know? No, I'm so glad everybody's here tonight. I'm so glad that Kara asked me to do this, you know? First of all, let's give a round of applause for Kara Baldwin. Not only can she write the longest goddamn emails you have ever seen in your life. Holy Toledo, that woman could write a book! But she does do a great job. And so she'd emailed me a while ago, and she was like, hey, Kelsey, you know, can you do the comedy event again? And I was like, oh, I don't know, you know, maybe I just want to go and be a mom. And then she was like, but wait, it's at the Hacienda Hotel. What? I was like, what comedian in LA doesn't want to perform on this stage? I mean, I didn't think I'd arrive, but tonight is my night. And if I ever get remarried, that shit's happening here. In this room. I mean, take a look around, people. When they were doing that fashion show, I could have sworn I was at a strip club with this, and this. Honest to God, and this. What is this? What is this? I don't understand it, but I love it. Seriously, how many of you have never stepped foot inside this place? Is that not unbelievable? I have driven past this place 1,000 million times, and I've never gone in. But I have seen the arches, I have seen the Spanish tile, I have seen the fake brick painted on the wall, and I said, what goes on inside the Hacienda? I never could tell because there's always a tourist bus getting ready to take a bunch of people to Casino Morongo, you know? I mean, think about it. What would it be like if you've never been to America? You've never been to LA? You land at LAX. You get on the shuttle, the Hacienda Hotel. You get here and you're like, what? And all you can do is go across Ralph's and get a rotisserie chicken. And come on back and eat it in your room with no air conditioning. Seriously. This place is unbelievable. I was talking to my friend though. She's here. She said this is no lie. The other week she was watching Bounty Hunters. Okay?
That has to be Jane.
She said all of a sudden she's like, what? She looked at the TV. On the front is the Hacienda Hotel. Stay with me. There's a murderer, a fugitive, holed up inside this place. People think Hawthorne has street cred? Hell no. We got murderers in our town. We got street cred. We're tough. This place is unbelievable. It really is. And I am glad to be here because I think tonight we could turn this whole place around. Because I'm hosting, not paying, hosting, an after party at the Mariposa Cafe. If that goes well tonight, Rock and Brew's out, Mariposa Cafe's in. All right, so, what else? Okay, so this is why I'm glad I'm here. Because I really do want to help this community. I want to help our kids, I want to help our schools, but I haven't quite found my niche yet, you know? This is what happened. First, my son got into preschool, and so I joined the parent board. And somehow I got appointed vice president. There's Miss Mary Jo, bless her. That woman's had more to drink tonight. Look at her. Look at her. Woo! Teaching our children. Love it. That's right, baby. I got my daughter next year. Teach her all those moves. I love it. I don't know what happened to me, but I would get to those parent board meetings, and I'd sit down in those little chairs, and I'd just get real mean, you know? I'd be like, what are we going to do for the Sam's breakfast? You know? And I'd just be angry. And then at one point, point, I started like yelling at some of the moms because they were debating over like if a gift basket of Bath and Body Works lotion should be like $20 or $25. And I was like, shut the hell up! Who cares, you know? And so I just realized like I'm too angry for that job. You're right, it was awful. So then my son started kindergarten at Center Street, and he was in Teddy. Everybody from Richmond's like, you're not that loud. You're on the west side. Gang rivalry. I'm gonna digress. I love it. It's unbelievable. Later tonight at the post party. No, so I signed up for Character Counts because it sounded like a great idea. You know, and let me tell you, Character Counts is an amazing program. I totally love it. It teaches our kids the fundamentals about how to be a good character. Unfortunately for someone like me, not a good fit. I'll never forget, I was sitting there like in the class telling the kids like, you know, about this is all about being honest, you know, and one of the things that you want to do is you don't want to cheat or lie, and I was like, shit. I fundamentally disagree with everything you say. I felt like they could smell it, you know? I mean, I'm going to be honest, I cheated on the SATs. I know you don't want to hear that, but that's the truth. And this is why I think it's okay, because there was one math problem about how many times a fan goes around in an hour, and I didn't have a clue. And I thought to myself, am I going to let that one question keep me out of the school of my dreams? Hell no. Hell no. So this is what I tell my kids. Not really, but it's kind of true. I say, listen, you're not stupid if you don't know the answer. You're only stupid if you can't find someone to sit next to you. And I would never say that unless it was an important test.
Naughty Kelsey. True.
I'm kidding, I'm kidding. Don't I lie? I lie and cheat. That's okay. So character counts didn't work. So then I was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm really going to get involved in the initiatives that you guys set up. Did anybody here think of the Walk to School Wednesday? Great idea. Is that somebody's idea in here? Oh, that's great. I love that idea. I'd like to kill you. Let me tell you why. That is the most unfair initiative I have ever heard of in my life. Do you know why? Because I live close to Main Street, kind of right on the border. Seriously? Here, let me explain something. Walk to School Wednesday has caused me so many problems, okay? Because what happened was, my son had a wonderful teacher last year. I don't want to call her out, Miss Murray. I love that woman. I cried just thinking about her crying, you know? When she cries, I cry. So she had this thing where she would, every Wednesday, she would have a whiteboard. You know how she does her thing in the morning. And so on Wednesday, she gets to the point and she's like, all right, everybody, you know, today is Walk to School Wednesday. And let's go ahead and see who walked or drove. And so they'd be like, you know, Elizabeth, walk or drive? And she'd be like, we walked. And I'd be like, did you walk or drive? And he'd be like, we walked. And then she'd get to my son. She'd be like, Jack, did you walk or drive? And he'd be like, drove. And then he'd just look at me like, bitch. You know? And I tried to tell him, like, I'm not perfect. I try to do the best I can, but we're never going to walk to school on Wednesday. But I just had it. I had it. So, like, the fifth Wednesday, Talia, you guys remember this? The fifth Wednesday, I get there, you know, and I'm just like, I'm over it, and I'm like about to snap. So she gets to Jack, and before he can talk, she's like, Jack, did you walk around? I'm like, we walked. We walked. My son's like, no, you didn't. No, we didn't. I'm like, yeah, we did. We used our legs. We used our goddamn legs this morning. And he's like, Mom, we did not. We parked. I'm like, we parked really far away. He's like, we parked in the circle with the white line like we always do. And I was like, God, that kid's unbelievable, you know? Character counts. Terrible. So anyways, that's it. Character. I get it now. I get it. I'm small. I get it. So anyway, the best I can do is be here, and I'm not volunteering for anything ever again. This is what I do. Don't call, don't write, don't email. I know my strength. But I am really proud to live in this town, and I'm from the South, so, you know, for a long time we lived in Hermosa, and we tried to find a town that kind of reminded us of home. And when we found El Segundo, we were like, this place is amazing. I mean, this is where you want to be when you have children. But a lot of my friends still don't understand. They're like, Kelsey, how the hell do you live in LA with all that traffic and smog? And oh my God, we could never do it. I'm like, I don't live in LA. You know, I live in this cute little town. It has a main street. Like, it has a main street. It has a library, these wonderful parks. It's just an amazing place to raise a family. Like, but we don't understand, where the hell is that place? And I'm like, that's the best part. I'm like, El Segundo is conveniently located inside Terminal B in Valley. I mean, how lucky are we? You know, my friends always be like, hey, Kelsey, our flight gets in at 10, what time are you going to pick us up? I'm like, don't worry about it, just jump, you'll land in my backyard. You know, but I do think we all should be proud of this town because it's getting on the up and up. You know, it used to be Manhattan Beach was the place to be, but ever since we got the El Segundo Plaza, that shit's on the rise, you know? I mean, that place is cool. We've got anthropology, we've got the Hacienda now, like, I don't know, they better watch out. But what they don't have is they don't have a Whole Foods. And here's the thing, this is important, ladies. Getting a Whole Foods built in your neighborhood in Southern California is a lot like getting a Walmart built in your neighborhood in the Midwest. It means you've arrived, you know? And we've got the biggest one in Southern California. I really think we do. Unfortunately, I think it's a bad choice for any of you to ever shop there. And this is true. Let's just be honest, guys. We live between an oil refinery, a water treatment plant, and LAX. A little pesticide's probably the least of our concerns. Go ahead. Shop at Trader Joe's. Don't let it bother you. It's okay. I've got 2 kids, and of course now the question is always like, are you gonna have a third? You should have another one. You want another one? You know? And I'm just like, let me tell you something, people. About 2 weeks ago, I started sort of, kind of, almost liking my husband again. I mean, barely. Barely. A matter of fact, there was a nanosecond I looked at him and I thought I might be attracted to him. Not enough to have sex or anything crazy like that. But enough to maybe hold his hand without getting pleased, you know? I cannot go back. We barely made it, you know? We barely made it. And plus, I absolutely hate being pregnant. I do. I know some people are like, oh, it's the wonderful thing. I mean, it to me is misery. But here's the thing. I think that's because we're in LA. And out here, the expectations are so high. You know, you got to look good while you're pregnant. You got to look good after you're pregnant. And they don't give you a lot of time out here. You know, you got like 48 hours. Right? It'll be Wednesday. They're like, you had the baby Sunday. What's the problem? It's not like that where I'm from. Oh no. In the South, you can be as fat as you like for as long as you like. Nobody cares, you know? People there are like, well, Johnny's turning 18 this fall. I guess it's time I lose that baby weight. God willing, you know? Like God's worried about your ass, you know? I love it. I love it. One of the things, and I know some people, maybe Tiffany did this, don't take offense even though it's directed at you if you did.
Oh, Tiffany! Oh, Tiff!
Did anybody here get pregnancy pictures taken? You know, where you stand like naked in a field with a sheet? Just covering your breasts? Just thinking about your unborn
You're
child?
beautiful, Tiff.
If that's your thing, God bless you. You know, that's fine. I'm not into it. That's okay. But when it gets weird to me is when people blow those pictures up to like a 24 by 48 and hang them on their living room wall. Here's the thing. If I'm going to have a semi-nude picture of myself on my living room wall, it's going to be from Spring Break '95. And I have perky boobs and a flat stomach. No idea that baby oil and skin cancer go hand in hand. That's what you're going to see in my house, okay? Oh God, you again took me. She's just pregnant, so all this stuff comes up. I know, she was just pregnant. So we have a boy and a girl. And that's great, thank you. I did it. No, but we found out what we were having both times. Because you can, so I think you should. You know, but the new thing, like a lot of people in here, the new thing is to wait. You know, you hear all these people like, we're not going to find out the sex of the baby. It's like one of life's last great surprises. Oh, shoot me, people. Really? Are you kidding me? Let me tell you something. After you've had your legs wrapped around your head for 10 hours straight, and all of a sudden you shoot a human being out your vagina, you're surprised. You are surprised. It doesn't matter, boy, girl, puma. You're like, whoa, I can't believe it. You know? Something else was surprising to me was how much it hurt. I must have missed that day in sex ed, you know? I mean, the high school, you know, this is my thing. We sure spend a lot of time teaching kids how the baby gets in, right? What we need to be teaching them is how the baby gets out. That would make a difference. I mean, how great would it be if in your AVID program, you just took an afternoon and you're like, ladies, when you deliver that baby, there's a good chance you're going to tear all the way through your rectum. And you know what? You may never sit, stand, or walk the same again. But remember, it's your choice. And you're a beautiful girl. Now go have fun on prom night. I mean, let's start telling them the truth, you know? I did, with my second child, decide to have it without an epidural. I know everyone says you don't get an award. That's bullshit, because I gave myself an award because I just thought it was so cool to do it, and I did it for the right reasons. To one-up my best friend. Worst decision I've ever made in my life. But the only reason I did it because I didn't want that bitch telling everybody she could and I couldn't. It's horrible. It's terrible. It was the worst thing I've ever done. Never again. But we had to take this class in order for them to let you go natural, because they think you're such an idiot. They make you take a class and they ask your husband to be the coach, you know? And so there was this one beautiful moment where my husband and we were in labor, and I was in so much pain. I mean, literally, I thought I was going to die. And he looked at me and he's like, baby, how you doing? And that's exactly how he talks. And I was like, am I good? Good at all? I think I can do this. You know, and he was just like, yes, you can, baby. You're a strong woman. You can do anything you put your mind to. Yeah, thank you, God. And you know, at that moment, I felt so much support and so much love. So I looked in and I was like, I didn't ask you, you know, how are you doing? Oh man, that man kind of got down on his knee and had like a tear in his eye. And he was like, to be honest with you, my feet are killing me. I don't understand what's wrong with them. He drives me insane, just in general. He drives me insane. But I don't know if you all have this problem where your husbands will ask you a lot of questions. Like, it's a trick they do to make us do things, you know? Like, yeah, you understand. My husband will, like, he'll be bathing the kids. They're 6 and 3. They've lived with us the same amount of time. Right? He'll get him out of the bath and he'll be like, hey, babe, you know where the pajamas are? Do they think we wake up in the morning when it's still dark out? When no one else is awake and we're like, where the hell are we going to put the PJs today? I'm like, listen, you fool. The pajamas are in the same place they were today as they were yesterday, and tomorrow they'll be in the same place they were today. Write a legend, create a map, get a tattoo, for God's sake, stop asking me questions, you know? Always says, when they ask you a question, act like you got hit by a train. So he'd be like, where the PJs? I'm like, I don't know. So if you guys are like me, there's a lot of things in your marriage you have to do that you don't like to do. You know? Maybe one or two things you don't like to do. I've got this one thing that I can't get my husband to shake. And it's awful. And I know it's the worst thing I have to do. And this is what happens. Basically, it'll be in the morning, and we'll be getting the kids ready for school, and I'll be getting ready for work, and all of a sudden I'll be like, hey baby, think you can do it real quick? I'm like, right now? Like right now? I gotta get kids ready for school, what is wrong with you? He's like, you never want to do it. It'll only take a minute, you know? If you stop complaining, you'll be done in 10 minutes. Like, I can't take it anymore. No, I don't want to do it. But somehow I find myself hiding in my bathroom with my semi-nude husband, shaving his back. God damn, how did that become my job? You don't think I would say I have sex? I would never have sex in the morning. I would have to shave his back, And if he was here right now, he would kill me. But this is the thing. He's always like, when I'm doing it, he's like, you know you love it. It's like mowing the lawn. I'm like, if I like mowing the lawn too much, why do I hire somebody? But he's like, hey, baby, I don't want the kids to know. I'm afraid it'll scar them. I'm like, yeah, don't worry about me. I'm fine, But the other morning, my son was like looking for me, right? So we're locked in the bathroom, and my son's like, Mommy, Mommy. And I was like, opens the bathroom, he's like, Mommy? Are you shaving Daddy's back? I turned off that electric razor. I sat down on the toilet, and I was like, come here, baby. I was like, here's the thing. Your daddy's a very hairy man. And although he has no hair on his head, he doesn't have any problem growing it in his ears or on his back. He said, the good news is you have his genes, and he's a kind, loving man. The bad news is you are screwed in some areas, back hair being one of them. I'm sorry you had to hear it from me. It was traumatizing. We had to take him to a counselor, and he didn't understand, but he's okay. He's working through it. But this is the thing, I think being a woman is tough. Excuse me. It's tough because I think we have to do a lot. And we do. Give yourselves a round. For God's sake, you look good and do it. I'm going to tell you this thing I saw. So I was at the Long Beach Aquarium this summer, and there was this big fish tank, like huge, all the way to the ceiling. And on this fish tank, there was this little sign, and the sign said, let me get this right, the majority of the fish in this tank are androgynous. Most of them start off as females, but after time and due to stress, they become males. No shit, right? So I started thinking about it. How great would it be if you just had a bad day? You were over it. You were over carpool, you were over Trader Joe's, you were over laundry, you were over your husband, you were over your kids, and you were like, fuck it, I'm out. Hey guys, I'm your dad. I don't have a clue what to do next, because your mom's not here, but I'm going to watch some football, and why don't you make yourself something to eat? How great would that be? We thought fish were stupid. They're not. We're stupid. But I'm like all of you, I just need a break. Every now and then, I need a little bit of time to myself, just so I can collect myself, have a moment. And when I get that time, when I get that moment alone, I do what every woman in this room wants to do. I go to Target. I freaking love that place. It doesn't matter where I am in the country, what road I'm driving down. As soon as I see that big red bullseye, woo, Mama knows everything's gonna be all right. You know? I love going there and watching people that have a list, you know? Like as if a list has anything to do with what you're gonna actually buy. You know, I always go in and I'm like, okay, I'm getting contact solution, Venus razor refills, and some laundry detergent. Somehow I come out with all that, and a Massimo workout outfit, a Morona cardigan twin set, and I'm like, oh shit, 40 items from the dollar section. You know, like, how the hell did that happen? You know? How many of you guys cares in the music program? Sorry. No, but my son's really into music, which I love. He's doing choir this year. He's all excited, and he absolutely loves music, which I love. But I struggle a little bit with how I'm going to be able to share with him the type of music I grew up listening to. You know, like, what's our generation going to do? Seriously, I remember my granddaddy used to pull me aside and he'd be like, come here, baby. Come here. This song is by Billie Holiday. It's about a man loving a woman. Your granny and I used to Lindy hop all over the dance floor to this one. Oh, it's such a sweet memory, you know? I loved him sharing that with me. What am I going to say to my kid? Like, come here. This song is called Gold Digger. It's about how women are a bunch of hoes that'll leave you brokey broke. I used to back my ass up with your daddy driving me all over the dance floor to this one. You know? I mean, how am I going to tell them what we did? Right? It's embarrassing. How many people in here are on Facebook? Jane's the only one that's not. Here's the thing. The good
I know,
news for
right?
you is you officially have like 6 extra hours in your day.
I talked to your husband, said he
She doesn't know what her 8th grade boyfriend's nephew's new puppy looks like.
All right,
We spent a good hour going through that photo album last night. Have you ever found yourself just looking at shit and you're like, what in God's name have I done? It's like a girl's friend's, sister's, brother's graduation. You don't know anybody at all. And you're looking through all the pictures, sending them to your friend. Can you believe that? Or who is that? I don't know. I got into their album and I love it. Here's the thing about Facebook, though. This is a very, well, here's the thing. First of all, there's 2 types of people on Facebook, right? People that upload pictures where their kids look good, and people who upload pictures where they look good. Just so you all know where I stand, I don't care if my kid looks dirty, scared, or homeless. If there's a small chance I look pretty, skinny, or rich, that shit's going up. It's the truth. My kid's like, ooh, and I'm like, profile picture, you know? I am not afraid. The only thing I can't handle is the bikini profile picture. Don't do that. Do not do that, because I will talk shit behind your back. If you put a profile picture of yourself in a bikini, we know why you're doing it. Okay? Don't do it. Here's the thing about Facebook right now. This is like a big uploading time, right? Because it's the holidays. Everyone's setting up the Halloween pictures and Christmas, Santa, all that. That's all fine. What I'm struggling with right now is, when did we as a country decide that a holiday card consists of your entire family dressed in jeans and white t-shirts, sitting awkwardly on the beach? And some of you are laughing, but you just got them done last weekend.
That's right.
That is not realistic, people. Nobody does that at the beach. Nobody wears full winter clothes to the beach. Here's the thing. Somebody in this room needs to have the courage to send out a real holiday card.
We did an FMPV.
I want it to be like a snapfish collage. Like in the top corner, I want it to be your toddler locked in timeout just screaming. At the bottom, I want it to be the husband and wife standing in the kitchen, not saying a word. And over in the top corner, I want it to be that beautiful golden retriever puppy you just got peeing all over your potty couch. And at the bottom, I want it to say, Happy Holidays, love the Smiths, ... We're barely hanging on. that's what we need to see. And this is the other thing I have to say, and this only applies to this group. If you took your pictures in Manhattan Beach, if you took them on the pier, if you took your pictures in Redondo Beach or up in Palos Verdes, stop. Have some pride in our town. Take it in front of the oil refinery at night. It looks like New York City. Take it in front of the smokestacks. They're red and white like candy canes. They're perfect for the holidays. Stop going to other towns and take them here. Seriously.
Oh no.
Truth. The other day, I was on a walk with my girlfriend, and she's like, Kelsey, you know, I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't want to have sex with my husband anymore. And I was like, oh my God, nothing is wrong with you. You know? I was like, that's totally normal. I said, let me explain something to you. These are the things that are fun to do with your husband if you've been married 5 years or more. Watch X Factor, go to Trader Joe's, reupholster your couch. These are the things that aren't fun to do with your husband if you've been married for 5 years or more. See each other naked, French kiss, any type of sexual intercourse. No, I really struggle with this because I normally take like a year off. I know it's not the right thing to do, but like when I get pregnant from like 5 months until my baby's like 5 months, I just go hiatus, you know? I just take the time off. But when my son was about 6 months, I was like, God, I gotta get back into it. And I didn't really know what I was gonna do, so I started thinking like, oh, what are my options? And I thought, well, maybe I'll swing, you know? You know, you're desperate, you think of anything. And then I was just like, wait a second. Not only do I have to have sex with my sweaty husband, I have to have sex with somebody else's sweaty husband? I was like, that is the worst idea. So I was like, oh, what else could I do? What else could I do? And then I was like, you know what, I'm going to go fundamentalist Mormon. I'm going to get a sister wife. You know? And I'm going to pick my sluttiest friend from high school. You know, we all have that one friend that just always loves sex. Like, she's living with me, you know? Because I want when my husband comes, he's like, hey, baby, tonight's our night. You know, and I'll be like, ooh, you know what? I got a terrible headache. But I saw the way Judy was looking at you tonight. Why don't you walk on down the hall and have a good time? You know, my friends from the South, like, Kelsey, you could never do that. You could never, ever do that. I mean, how would you feel if another woman was satisfying your husband's sexual desires? Grateful. Extremely grateful. You know? All right, I'm going to close with this.
Oh, Kel.
There we go. These are the top 10 things. Summer, I need your attention. This is important. Summer, 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 Summer. We're closing here. Closing the show. I'm going to need you. Here we go. Top 10 things my husband says that make me consider homicide. Number 1. Have you talked to my mom lately? I am barely hanging on with my own family. You know? Your mother, your problem. Number 2, I'm so tired. No, you're not. You're not. Number 3, this is only my second scotch. Bullshit. Number 4, don't worry, I'll just make myself dinner. I don't know whenever I'm on 5. Watching you in labor was so painful for me. Number 6, I didn't say you looked fat, I said you looked healthy. Number 7, I'm not drunk, it's just been a long week. Number 8, what are you talking about? The baby slept all night.
My favorite.
Number 9, is there any way you could breastfeed in the other room? I'm trying to sleep. Am I the only one? Number 9 again, because I have 11. Number 9 again. I could have 40 if you gave me time. Number 9, you haven't done that to me since before we were married. I know. And number 10, the thing my husband says that makes me consider homicide is, you know I could go longer if you wanted me to.